This program is brought to you by Emory University.
All athletes live twice, the youthful life playing a sport and the life afterwards. And for the majority of baseball players, the one life doesn't have much to do with the other. Every baseball player is sooner or later an ex-baseball player. And for each of them, the particular year they last wore a uniform takes on the weight of an anniversary. They orient their lives around it, or from it, so that the year I left baseball becomes as familiar a date in their life's chronology as the year I graduated from high school or the year I got married. They talk of the years after baseball as if they were demarcated absolutely from anything that happened before. The date a baseball player becomes an ex-baseball player initiates the beginning of an entirely different life. It marks for them an absolute beginning, an era distinct from anything that preceded it, in much the same way as the Venerable Bede, in writing his ecclesiastical history of Anglo-Saxon Britain, began with Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. Some are able to make a clean break as they transition to life as an ex-baseball player. The Dodger pitcher, whom Roger Kahn writes about, Clem Labine, retired after spending about 12 years in the majors to become a designer of sports apparel. He returned to his boyhood home in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, where he manages a sports apparel company and threw, in his words, only snowballs at telephone poles. Other players hobble on, trying to find some activity, some angle that will cause the spark to jump the gap. Over the years my son was playing baseball, I got to know a couple of men who once got paid to play the game. Bill Melvin used to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. After his playing days were done, Melvin founded a company in Atlanta he calls Pitching for Excellence. Every weekend you'll find him sitting on an upturned bucket, taking throws from 10, 12, and 14-year-old boys who dream of being the next Justin Verlander or Cliff Lee. He loves it. Ben Johnson, all Ivy during the years he played for Yale, was drafted in the 26th round in 1999 by the Chicago Cubs. He spent 8 years, or parts of years, in the minors. After his career stalled at the Double-A Tennessee Jacks, Johnson set up a business called Top Tier Baseball to help young players match their talents with suitable college academic and sports programs. Only a small few baseball players exit the game cleanly and with style or grace. One who was lucky enough to end on a high note was Ted Williams. Williams ended his career with the Boston Red Sox, the only team he had ever played for, playing at home in Fenway Park. Williams went out in a way most players can accomplish only in their dreams. He hit a home run in his last at-bat of his last game in the last home game of the 1960 season. John Updike, the novelist, short story writer, was at the ballpark that day to witness and to record the game's events in his exacting and graceful prose. In Hub Fans Bid Kid Adieu, Updike's story, it's one of the literary accidents that Updike was there at Fenway Park in the first place. As he tells it, he went to the ball game only after missing an afternoon rendezvous with a woman with whom he was having an extramarital affair. For the great majority of baseball players, no matter the level of play, the ending of their life in baseball is not even anticlimactic. It just stops. One day, baseball isn't there anymore. Along with youth and strength, it goes all at once, and it's gone before you know it. Goes without an appropriate event to mark its passing, before even you had a chance to acknowledge the loss and to say a proper goodbye. All that remains is a bone-white memory.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.